Majuba. We pay homage, it's the Ilajuba. We seek the great spirit's approval, manifesting the ancestral maneuver. As the Orishas move you, my child, let me speak to your spirit. You warriors calling a little louder, I want you to hear it. Just face it, don't fear it. Your mirror reflection, revere it. Shadow work, you will clear it. Just the seasons will change. You were called to rise. Open your eyes, realize, rearrange. It's not a game, press past through your pain. We are not mediocre nor mundane. You are great now, claim your new name. Break free from the chains. I just want you to see through and see true. See yourself as all of the mind sees. The God in you, manifest your breakthrough. Standing tall, seeing life from a bird's eye view. While manifesting your Odu. We keep it real, real life and reveal. It's all in me, my destiny. I will find, follow, fulfill my destiny. I will find, follow, fulfill. Majuba, we pay homage, it's the Ilajuba. We seek the great spirit's approval, manifesting the ancestral maneuver. As the Orishas move you. Just the Ilajuba.
All right. Abora boy, this is Alua Fakola Dev Idin Kaifa Temple. We thank you. We welcome you for joining us today for our Ile Ijuba Ifa Temple service. We do this every Sunday. So, with that, I would like to begin with our prayers for the day. So please join us. All right. Mojuba lorun, mojuba leda, mojuba olorumare, mojuba bobo rumale, mojuba bobo imale, mojuba bobo eguntembe nise olorumare, mojuba amesment monede lusu dance, mojuba data, mojuba basement, mojuba fedenu, mojuba confidence, mojuba dale, mojuba time, mojuba navi, mojuba super home, mojuba super walking, mojuba engineer, mojuba steady valley, mojuba steady, mojuba change over, mojuba penino chino, mojuba no block. Modiba Sungwade, Modiba Gwade, Modiba Fraga, Modiba Tour, Modiba Flori, Modiba Palau Oriente, Modiba Filippi, Palueto, Modiba Bundobi, Modiba Mege, Modiba Chamola, Modiba Shalanko, Modiba Tonade, Modiba Shudi, Modiba Bastek, Manare, from the first time, Baba, Barakilum. Ifao, Munifa Kolade, we come invoking your spirit. We thank you for life, health, strength, food, clothing, and shelter. We thank you for this day. We thank you for the people who are viewing us today. We thank you for this land. We thank you for the health of our families. Ashe, Irete, Alaje, Ola, Tutu, cool dignity is the name of Ifa. Ola, sweet dignity is the name of Odu. Ola, soft dignity is the name of Oshun. When the three of you would design my destiny in heaven, you did not design it for imprecation chanters to have power to kill me, or for incantation users to kill me, or for spellcasters to kill me or any of us, or for cutlass wielders to kill any of us, or for gun trotters to be able to kill any of us, or for wizards to be able to kill or harm any of us, or for witches to be able to kill or harm any of us. Those who do not know that when the three of you designed our identities in heaven, you didn't design it for anyone to have power over us. Do not let anyone have power to kill us. The three of you are one's Lord. Death does not consume pepper, any unnatural death caused by human beings. Do not let it kill us. Afflictions do not eat onions. Do not let us be afflicted within our lifetimes. Pestilence does not consume Iyere spice. Do not let any of us be afflicted by pestilence. Do not let any of us have strokes. Do not let any of us be crippled. Do not let any gun trotters, cutlass wielders, spellcasters, do not let them use those things against us. For we do not use cutlass to cut into creeping plant, melon seed, Ifa, please let us all be given our appropriate respect at all times. The snail is for peace and softness and harmony. All evils of this world, all evils caused by human beings, that they might direct against us, neutralize it in our bodies right now. For only coolness and peace do we find in Otutupon Ifa beads. It is the guinea fowl that authorizes all of us to have peace and comfort. All evils of this world, Ifa, please turn them into peace and convenience for all of us. Irete tutu has decreed that all evil things shall bow their heads to us right now. Ifa, please make all negative forces to bow their heads to us right now. Do not let them be successful. Ashe, Ifa, we ask that you ward off all death, ward off sickness, ward off cases and controversy, ward off fights, ward off litigation, losses, allied fights, ward off witchcraft and negative energy from all of us at this time. Bring forth to us long life, wealth, the spouse, the children, longevity, peace of mind, joy, healing, success, and all the things of life to us at this time. Ashe, alápẹ̀tẹ̀ inú alábọ́mọ̀ ìkún aṣọ funfun mẹ́ta ní ọ̀ṣálámù wá ilẹ̀ ayé èèkàn ní ẹ̀gún dábọ́rí pidán ìkejì ní ìrìṣàtà alábọ́lẹ̀ ìkẹtẹ̀ ní àjíǹde ara tẹ̀mí kí àjíǹde ara tẹ̀mí Ifa. At this time we ask Orishana, we ask the Gungun to make sure that we all have good health today. Ward off cancer, ward off AIDS, ward off diabetes, hypertension, high blood pressure, ward off stroke, ward off dementia, ward off Alzheimer's from all of us at this time. If I move our ego, move my ego out of the way so we can hear good word of Ifa from you. Emma kami meni amo, Emma kami meni anu. Emma kami meni adelo kuntamule. Tori Ifa alone mi, ebora timpani ni. Eni banami tifa lelejo ashe. Ifa, please ward off all the adrogun from us. Bring forth to us all the good things of life. Hold on, Oshe Torah will turn the Fido to the strap of a chameleon. Is not big enough to use this headgear. Had it been enough to use this headgear, I would have taken it home and adorned my head with it. Easy 5 decorations to Aruela. I'm going on a spiritual mission to a Jibbaland. We're going to look at and pay money. Go on South Side Mega Rich, go on Aruela with respect in the Jibbaland. Oshe Aruela Zagarawu. Oshe Torah. Akikini Bagisa. Akikini Bagisa, the extract sharp against the tree castify for Rumla when he sleep Iba Nashe from all of them are. If I want touch, you should be wealthy, surely be wealthy. Akikini Bagisa. The month of Mozati Banashe and the month of Benawo. If no to have joy, she'll have joy. Akikini Bagisa and the month of Mozati Banashe and the month of Benawo. If no to have victory, she'll have victory. Akikini Bagisa and the month of Mozati Banashe and the month of Benawo. To Essim, maybe so, surely shall it be. Ashe Orisha lẹ́nu mi o, Ashe Orisha lẹ́nu mi. Bọ́bọ́ tí mo bá màmá wí o, ìwọ mo lè mú bà. Ifá ó bá o ẹ̀sùn Orisha lẹ́nu mi. Ashe o. Bí mo dúró tí mo súré, bí mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ tí mo súré, bí mo kúnlẹ̀ tí mo súré, bí mo jókòó tí mo súré. Put your hands on your ori. Ori yani larure yani o. Ori yani larure yani. Mojula fa wa mori. Ori yani larure yani. Show. Oberecha ju. Ifa oba lorun. Atibata ju. Ifa oba lorun. Moshe aru ila. Ifatibo. Olodumare and the divinities, we thank you for life, health, strength, food, clothing, shelter. We ask that you would continue to ward off all death, continue to ward off all sickness, continue to ward off all problems and pain, remove all poverty and challenges from us, bring forth to us long life. Give us good spouses, give us good children, give us peace of mind, give us healing, give us joy, give us all good things of life today. Help us to find, follow, and fulfill our destiny. Aboru, Aboye, Aboshishe, Aboto. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Once again, this is Oluo Fakoladev Idin Kaifa Temple. We welcome you, all of you in TikTok land. Shout outs to you. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Shout outs to you, Aboraboy. Once again, this is Oluo Fakoladev Idin Kaifa Temple. So why don't we just get right into it? Before we jump in, I want everyone to take a moment and like and share this video. Share it with your family members. Share it with Ifa practitioners and spiritual folks all over so that we can get to have this conversation, because this is a really, really, really important conversation that we're about to have today. So please like and share. I'm going to give you a moment. I'm going to give everybody a second to do that. And also, please let me know where you're from. After this, we're going to have a brief Q&A on TikTok. So if you want to engage with us, you can go to TikTok and engage with us there. Also, about 20 minutes after we're completely done with Ile Juba Temple service, we will conduct Itarogun, because today is Itarogun. Oshefa Itarogun. So if you would like to participate with that, please join us right back again. We'll be on that. All right. So without any further communication, let us communicate. Bora Boy, this is Oluo Fakoladev once again. And I want to talk about our topic today. So first of all, some of the deepest spiritual wounds were not caused by enemies. These wounds oftentimes have been caused by the very folks who have claimed to be your healers. They've been caused by godparents. Some people have entered spiritual systems searching for healing, searching for wisdom, searching for purpose, searching for destiny, and even searching for community. And instead, what they have found is manipulation. They found fear. They found exploitation, humiliation, and control. There are elders who definitely build people, but there are also elders out there who feed on people. So essentially, not every person wearing beads is balanced. Not every title holder has good character. Not every spiritual elder deserves access to your Ori. And the most dangerous spiritual abuse is the kind that is disguised as tradition. Let us begin with the Odu Ifa Ofumeji. Ofumeji Eba Ifa says the kola nut breaker is expected to consume 2 coconut lobes. The avaricious elder will consume 3. After consuming the 3, he will carry his load by himself and move away. This was Ifa's message for the leader who shall eventually become the follower. He was advised to offer a bow, and he refused to comply. Now, it was their inability to act properly and their refusal to speak the right words at the appropriate time. Those were the things that turned the leader into a follower. It was their ability or their inability to act properly. In this Odu, let me give you a brief synopsis of the story. This is the story of the order of the first Odus, or the first 16, the Mejis. So in this Odu, part of the reason why we say Ofumeji Epao is to pay homage to Ofumeji. Why? Well, initially, when the Odu Ifa came to earth, Ofumeji was the first. And Ofumeji and Oshemeji, they were the senior. They had come to earth first. And the problem is that whenever people were offering ebo, whenever people were offering sacrifice, doing various things, Ofumeji would take the lion's portion of the sacrifice. And Oshemeji would get the better prime scraps. And then the other Odu Ifa, the other Mejis, would get remnants. They would get little pieces. So essentially, the elder Ofumeji was getting the most. And this went on for many years. And it was problematic because the other Odu Ifa were suffering. But here's the unique thing, is that the Odu Ifa Eji Ogbe, which is the Ifa that at this time was the last Odu on earth. Eji Ogbe was the one who would take his little portion and cook it up and prepare it and share it amongst the group. And Eji Ogbe would do this every time he got his little tiny portion from Ofumeji. And after a while, the Mejis began to communicate with Olodumare, and they began to offer their own ebos because they saw that Eji Ogbe, even though Eji Ogbe got a monicum, like got a little bit of sacrifice, that Odu would share what little he had with everyone. And they essentially waged an uprising against Ofumeji and Oshemeji. And the leader, the one that came on earth first, became the Odu Ifa that came last. Eji Ogbe became the leader instead of the follower. That is what this Odu is talking about. So what is Ifa teaching us? Essentially, the elder is supposed to guide people, but greed made the elder consume more than his portion. Ifa says the leader shall eventually become the follower, because leadership without character eventually collapses. Number 1 point, spiritual abuse begins when the leadership turns into ownership, when the leader thinks they own you, when the leader thinks they own the position. Also, number 2, a greedy elder eventually walks alone. What does Ifa say in this Odu? After consuming 3 lobes, he will carry his load by himself and move away. Essentially, in order to do this, you have to alienate. You have to go somewhere, or you gotta go off into another place in order to do what other people can't do, in order to hide, in order to consume what is not yours. Next, the fall of many leaders begins with entitlement, because they stop serving the people and begin feeding on the people. They begin feeding on the community. They see the people as a means to an end. They don't see the people as an end in themselves. They see the people as a dollar sign. They see the people as objects. When we think of this, we begin to analyze, like, is this only in history? No, this is current events. I'm sure many of you have watched the rise and fall of that organization called Carbon Nation, and then now there's a YouTube documentary, and there's a Hulu documentary on Eligio Bishop, also known as Nature Boy. And I think that we in the Ifa community especially here in the South, we need to talk about this. It needs to be discussed. What? Why? This individual builds a following on the internet called Carbon Nation. At first, what it looked like was it looked revolutionary. It looked enlightened. It looked spiritual. It looked like awakening and liberation. And young folks traveled across the world to follow this individual. They left their families. They abandoned their identities. They gave him money. They gave him loyalty. They gave emotional dependence. They gave their bodies. They gave psychological surrendering. Why? Because he presented himself as superior spiritually, cosmically awakened, because he looked or he acted as if he was beyond normal humanity. The only one who truly understood reality is how he presented himself. And that's how dangerous spiritual leadership often begins, not with chains, but with charisma. Not with force, but with emotional dependence. He isolated his followers from the outside voices that would speak sense. He convinced people that outsiders were low vibrational. He criticized them, questioning their leadership, saying that their leadership was betrayal. Leaving the group meant spiritual failure. And eventually, the movement became filled with psychological control, fear, manipulation, intimidation, abuse, and emotional domination. They really got caught up. When reality caught up with him, Nature Boy was eventually convicted on serious charges connected with sexual abuse, manipulation, and other things. And suddenly people realized that this man that they thought was a spiritual liberator had really become the object of worship himself. Many of our Ifa communities are the same. Any spiritual system becomes dangerous when the leader replaces the truth. We can see this also in Ofunmeji. Ofunmeji warned us that the elder consumed more than his portion, and eventually the elder became a follower. Or when we look at this, cult leaders do not begin by controlling your body. They begin by controlling your identity. Next, the most dangerous prison that we can find ourselves is the prison that we voluntarily enter into. When we enter into these things, we got to remember we're agreeing to this. When a leader cannot be questioned, danger has already started. You should be able to question the truth. You should be able to inquire. Some people surrendered their Ori because they wanted somebody else to think for them. Do not give up your Ori. Take responsibility for your mentality. Take responsibility for your spirituality. Take responsibility for your health. The moment a leader becomes more important than the truth, that is when collapse begins. Some people are not building community, they are building dependency. When you notice that, that is the time to run. Be careful of any spiritual leader who always needs you to be weak. They need you to be dependent on them. They need you to be afraid. They need you to be isolated and emotionally addicted to their approval. Beware. Let us look at this next Ifa, which is Ogbesa. Ifa says, if a Babalawo is in grave want, let that Babalawo lie not. If an herbalist is in grave need, let that herbalist not be dishonest. Let no one lie or display dishonesty because of accountability when one dies. These were Ifa's declarations to Orunmila when unknown people, pretenders, were waging war against him. He was advised to offer elbow. He complied. Now you pretenders, you have been exposed. You pretenders, I now know that the python, which pretended in the likeness of the Gabon viper, ye pretenders, you have been exposed. You pretenders, I now recognize the Agbadu, which pretended in the likeness of the boa constrictor. Ye pretenders, you have been exposed. Ye pretenders. I can now see that Iwoworeke impersonator who claimed that he was Orunmila himself. You pretenders, you have been exposed. You pretenders. And this Ifa, what is Ifa talking about? Well, first, Orunmila was finding it very difficult to get a job. He found it difficult to make ends meet. Other Awos were being dishonest. They were overcharging for rituals, charging for rituals that they didn't even do. They would do many tricks with the Akin. Some Babalaos would have 30 Akin in one hand and then cast it and then toss the Akin behind their back. They were doing all sorts of weird tricks that weren't really Ifa. And Orunmila wanted to succeed. He went for Ifa consultation. He cast the Ifa. And after he offered elbow, some of the dishonest Babalaos, they came to Orunmila and said to him, Orunmila, why don't you do what we do? Charge for the ritual and don't do anything. You make a lot of money that way, right? Do this trick and, you'll be wealthy. Orunmila stayed true to himself. He stayed true to the Odu. And he continued to do what was right. As he continued to do what was right, the crazy part is that other Awos even began to say, you know what, I'm Orunmila. And they began to impersonate him. They even took his identity. When we think of this Ifa, what is happening is that there are individuals within today that are saying that they have the credentials, but they don't have the credentials. They say that they know, but they're really just making it up. And what ends up happening is that the individual who has the most charisma, they might have a nice smile, they might look good. Society begins to look at those individuals as if they are the leaders, as if they have the credibility. Well, the individuals who stayed true, Orunmila himself, are completely overlooked. The most dishonest Babalawos oftentimes become the wealthiest. And sometimes they do so by manipulation and deception, performance, fear tactics, and dishonesty. And just like in this story, Orunmila was in the midst of those kind of Babalawos. And he struggled financially because he refused to be corrupt. What is Ifa saying? Number one, popularity is not proof of spiritual integrity. Some people get rich by exploiting spiritual desperation. Fake elders survive by performing tricks, performing antics, while a real elder survives by integrity and truth. Dishonest leaders often attack honest ones because integrity exposes the manipulation. Ifa says, ye pretenders, you have been exposed. every false mask, every fake one eventually slips. They will be exposed. Now let us analyze this last and final Odu. It comes from Obara Meji. Eji Obara Ifa says, success is what we are seeking. We have not seen disgrace. Disgrace is coming along the way. The father of success. This was the declaration of Ifa to Bing Woran when going to perform Oshun ritual in Olofin's palace. He was advised to offer a bow. He refused bluntly. Bing Woran is no longer applying remedy on me, but he is instead making love to me. In this Odu, there was a priest by the name of Abing Woran, and he was extremely knowledgeable, extremely effective at utilizing medicines to heal. He could use his medicine and his connection with Oshun to heal anybody. But even though he had the knowledge, he would take advantage of people. If anyone needed help, they would send for him. And he would help many people. When he found a woman that he was helping and doing the work for, he would figure out a way to prolong the help and manipulate a sexually inappropriate relationship with that woman. He would threaten them after he would sexually abuse them. And he would have them, basically, he would say, if you say anything, I'm going to stop treatment and I'm going to start harming you. No one said anything because they feared him. And also, he was successful at removing illness from folks. One day he went, he got word that the Olofin, the king's wife, was very sick and emaciated. And Angbing Bing Woran, he went for Ifa consultation to check to see if he would be successful in healing her. The Babalawo said, you will be indeed successful. You will heal her. You will create a miracle. But you need to offer a bow and change your approach so that you will not be humiliated. He was advised to offer a bow, and Angbing Bing Woran thought to himself that the Babalawo was actually envious of him. He thought that the Babalawo was making claims only to get more money out of him. So he refused to offer a bow. When he got to the home of the palace of the Olofin, and he was treating the wife of the Olofin, he gave her the medicines, and the thing of it is what could have taken him a week to do, he prolonged it and manipulated it for months. He already had healed her within about 2 weeks' time, but he kept administering things and prolonging it. And then he started essentially forcing himself upon her and manipulating the situation. And he was telling her, look, if you say anything, I'm going to harm you. And it took a long time for the wife of the Olofin to get the courage to speak up about the situation. And finally, she told her husband, and they devised the sting operation and walked in on Abing Biwaron as he was molesting the wife of the Olofin. And how did they do? What did they do? Once they saw him, then they gathered the people of the community and they paraded Abing Biwaron in front of the community and they talked about all the crimes he had done. And he was completely humiliated. He was humiliated to such a degree that he eventually committed suicide. What is Ifa telling us? This priest became famous by helping people, but he used spiritual access to sexually exploit vulnerable women. People stayed silent because he was powerful, he was successful, and he produced good results. When we think about that, this level of manipulation, this is indeed the problem. To some degree, some of these spiritual healers have skill, but they mix that with being power drunk. Eventually, the corruption of Abing Biwaron destroyed him. Let's look at it. First, a spiritual gift does not equal moral purity. When we know someone has gifts and powers and the ability to heal and the ability to offer these abodes and do these things and this knowledge, it don't mean that those people are ethical. Test. Some people use healing as a way to access vulnerable people. Fear often protects these abusive leaders because individuals are afraid of losing out on what they think they could gain as a result of the interaction. And many victims oftentimes stay silent because they fear spiritual retaliation. They fear that that elder is going to throw something. What does Ifa say? Ifa says, disgrace travels slower than success, but when it arrives, it hits harder. When we think of this, I want to tell you, not every elder hates you. Not every title holder is abusive, but you must never surrender your Ori completely to a human being. Learn how to take care of yourself. I want us to analyze what we should look for in a real elder. Number one, a real elder empowers you. They empower your Ori, while a fake elder replaces it. Number two, if a leader demands fear and control instead of understanding, you need to run. There should be transparency. There should be learning. There should be elevation. Three, if questioning is forbidden, control is already present. If you can't question, if you can't ask a question and get some clarity, it's time to consider leaving. Four, the purpose of true spirituality is to liberate you, not to create dependency. Look for elders who empower you. The most dangerous spiritual system, or prison, is the one disguised as devotion. My elder has taught us that there are at least 4 types of elders. One elder is the type that knows Ifa but has bad character. Learn the Ifa, leave character. That's one. Another type of elder has Little Ifa knowledge, but great character. Look at their character, but leave the Ifa knowledge. There are even other elders who have poor character and they know nothing of Ifa. Leave that person alone. And number 4, there are elders that have good character and they have extensive Ifa knowledge. We say you should submit to that elder. In conclusion, some of you have survived things that nobody talks about publicly. You have survived manipulation, humiliation, intimidation, spiritual fear, spiritual abuse, controlling elders, false prophets, abusive communities, and broken trust. You survived these things. And now you don't know whether to trust anybody in the system anymore. Some of you still hear the voices of those controlling elders in your head every day. You still feel guilty for questioning the abuse. You still feel afraid to think for yourself. Some of you lost years trying to earn the approval of broken people wearing spiritual titles and beads. But this morning, your Ori is waking up. Let your Ori wake all the way up. Let your Ori wake back up. You do not belong to fear. You do not belong to manipulation. You do not belong to control. And any elder who must break your spirit to maintain authority was never sent by Olodumare. Hear me carefully. Ifa is not the abuser. Ori is not abuse. Orisha is not the abuse. Broken people abused sacred things. And some of you must stop confusing spiritual authority with spiritual ownership. No elder owns your destiny. No priest owns your mind. No title holder owns your Ori. And this morning, some people need healing from spiritual people. The worst demons are not always hiding in darkness. Some hide behind titles, beads, and tradition. But Ifa is our liberator. I encourage you all to develop your own personal, educated relationship with Orisha, with Ifa, and Olodumare. Why don't we pray? Olodumare, we ask at this time for healing for all of those who have been affected by harmful leadership. Help us today to overcome. Help our Oris to truly elevate so that we can hear the right message and help the right elders to come and support us. Aboru, Aboye, Abo Shishe. Thank you all so much for joining us. I want to go into the chat. Abo Shishe Aboto to Jaina. Good to see you. Thank you so much. For you, Ala Kisha, good to see you. Ia Barbara, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for your donations as well. Ia, for story support, we thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. All right, everyone, we thank you for hearing us. We will be doing Itadagun today. So if you're interested in that, please also join us. Maybe 20 minutes later, we're going to have more talk on TikTok for maybe about another 5 minutes after we close. And once again, we thank you. If you want to send any donations, if you like what we're doing, you can send it to the number below through Zelle at 3232441133. Also, we have the Omo Awo program. If you would like to participate in that, if you are initiated to Ifa, or even if you are not initiated to Ifa, we would like to participate in that process where you learn about Ifa, you learn what I would say is the Ifa cosmology, right? If you want to learn those things and also learn to be a priest, please join us. We are here in McDonough, Georgia, which is roughly about 30-40 minutes from downtown Atlanta. If you want to learn more and be in the environment where we do Ifa all the time, you can be here. You can learn and join. If you would like to become a member of Idin Kaifa Temple, you can go to the website www.idinKaifatemple.com. All right. Thank you so very much for joining us. All right. Olodumario. We thank you for life, health, strength, food, clothing, and shelter. We thank you for all the things that you provided for us. We ask that you will continue to ward off all death, ward off sickness, cases, controversies, ward off fights, litigation, losses in our lives from us. Support us this day. Protect us this day. Help us to move differently this day. Help us to find good leaders today. Share, empower us throughout the week so that we can continue to find, follow, and fulfill our destiny. Aboru, Aboye, Abo Shishe, Aboto. Thank you all so much for joining us.